I want to do some stats first. I just want to read you some stats, okay? So in 2013, 2014, which was the first year of the tracking era, league average 21.5 three-point attempts per game. This year, it's 35 three-point attempts per game. Those numbers, 35. Almost 14 more threes a game. Those numbers are as of April 3rd. The Rockets in 2013, 2014 took 26.6 threes a game. That was number one. Grizzlies took, the grit and grind Grizzlies took 14 threes a game. They were last in the league. This year, the Nuggets are the number 30 team in three-point attempts per game. And they shoot 31 a game. You guys are 29. Orlando's 28.
We're right there. I was about to say we're right
Pistons
there.
are 27. So obviously, threes have gone up.
Yeah,
Not all
sure.
threes are created equal, though.
No.
Here's some other data that I love this. There's 22 players this year that have taken 150 or more threes off the dribble. Luka's number one. He's taken 497, again, as of April 3rd. In 2014, 2015, only 4 players took 150 threes or more off the dribble. The interesting thing is, there's been no change in effective field goal percentage from those numbers.
Yeah.
It's still right around 55%. Pick and roll, it's literally the same thing. 16 players have taken 150 or more pick and roll threes this year. Luka's number one at 361. 6 players took 150 threes or more in pick and roll in 2014, 2015. The effective field goal percentage is the same. So by prioritizing the three, offenses have become more efficient.
Yeah.
What does the threat, this is the overreaction part, what does the threat of Steph Curry in a high pick and roll, Damian Lillard in a high pick and roll, Trae Young in a high pick and roll, Luka in a high pick and roll, what does that do? How does that bend the defense? How does that cause the overreaction?
2 on the ball. It's a numbers game. You 2 on the ball. If you got great screen setters, Draymond, Capella, whoever Luka is going to have, either if it was Dwight Powell, now, Daniel Gafford.
Lively.
Yeah. He's learned it quick.
Yeah, he has.
He's learned it quick. If you have a great screen setter and you have a laser like that who shoots, like you said, over 300 off the dribble pick and roll threes, that's the chain reaction. That's why you have all these guys that's shooting career higher percentages with these lasers than they ever do with anybody else, because it's the chain reaction. The numbers game is automatic. If you're not up on the screen, you're late, you're going to have 2 on the ball, and those guys are good enough, great enough to play in the pocket. Now it's 4 on 3. And we talked about this last time. Draymond Green's biggest asset offensively for Golden State is his ability to get Steph open, Klay open, but then play in the pocket where his asset is 4 on 3, and now his IQ kicks in. That's the threat. If you can't cause a trigger, then everyone's going to be at home. That's the name of the game. How can you cause a trigger? Pick and roll, pin down, DHOs, split game. Whatever it is, whatever your portfolio of your team and your player, how can you cause the trigger? Because once the trigger happens, that's when you become successful.
Yeah. Last year in the playoffs, Anthony Davis, who you give glowing reviews on this podcast about his ability to be in multiple places at once. Golden State's strategy became high pick and roll with Steph Curry. We have to get Anthony Davis
away from the basket.
Right. So going through that,
yeah,
and those adjustments that you guys made throughout that series, because I think an important part of this too was they essentially were playing 2 non-shooters with Draymond and Kevon. And then to open up space, it was something that, in terms of volume, Steve Kerr and Steph Curry had never ran that amount of volume of pick and rolls prior to that series. So what were sort of the adjustments that you guys made once they had success with that?
So we had to start switching because we won. Like I always keep saying, once Draymond gets into the pocket, it is very, very, very hard to now reel it back. You can't allow Day-Day to play in the pocket because he's too damn good. And also what you can't not do, at the same time, if you're the big X5 or X4 and you're guarding the pick and roll, you can't be late on Steph Curry's pick and roll because it's going to be a great screen and Steph is coming off clean. If you have the personnel, which obviously a lot of teams don't, that's why not many teams have beat Golden State in the playoffs, in a playoff series, have the ability to switch.
You talk about being late on a Steph Curry pick and roll. So I fucking hated this play. I hated this play. And when I was on the Clippers, they would just kill us with this. So this oftentimes would be a guy, let's say it's Clay. So you're not going to switch. This is the 5-man.
Yep.
He's going to set a down screen at this angle.
Try to clip the 5.
Try to clip the
X5
5.
or X4.
We've talked about this before.
Yep.
Bigs are terrible navigating screens.
For sure. The worst.
So all of a sudden, Draymond, Andrew Bogut,
Flying.
they've now created separation
And they're
up here.
flying, yes.
This defender right here, and I'm sorry for drawing the X's as offensive players, but it's just how I do it. This defender is naked. He's on an island, right?
He doesn't know what's going on. Meanwhile, he's like this the whole time.
So now this
big
is behind this play.
Yep.
He's 5-6 steps behind this play.
Yep.
As Steph comes off here, again, he can shoot this 3, right? He's got the separation required. But oftentimes what would happen is this overreaction from the big to get out.
Steph does like this.
Yes.
And just drops it in the pocket.
Drop it in the pocket. It's a 4-3.
Yep. And now Clay has worked his way out here. You're afraid to leave Clay. And you got Andre Iguodala, Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga. You know what's going on.
Yeah. So obviously Steph can shoot this 3.
Yep.
But as this big is frantically trying to get out here,
Yeah, he's done.
the overreaction
Yeah.
to the threat of this,
Yep.
he's going to overcommit, whether it's a shot fake or whether it's just getting out. This defender right here, he's chasing.
He's chasing over.
So now the big has a free run.
Yep. And
Pocket pass.
Draymond pocket pass lob to one of those athletes, and it's over with.
I mean, this is the stuff though that in different ways, Damian Lillard gets this. Trae Young gets this. It's,
Yep.
I'm sure there's other guys I'm forgetting, but
Luka.
it's this idea of these high pick and rolls, because now we see, like, I'm going to draw it correctly this time.
You have a dry erase board today.
Now we see pick up points just inside half court.
Yep.
Again, you're asking
You're
first of all, you're
yeah.
asking this guard
Yeah.
to navigate.
They call it the 4-point line now.
Yeah. And secondly,
Bigs are not accustomed. They can't.
this is the thing I just want to point out, because I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and it goes back to, like, the 5-out concept.
Yep.
It's like I love watching basketball, period, and I love watching any era. I watch games on YouTube. It's like I wish I could have seen some of these players in person. They're educational and informative, Lebron. They're educational and informative. Like, we would never see this where, an offensive team is going this way and 2 players run to the block. We'd never see that, right? So now,
Yeah, that's over with.
that was the requirement.
Yeah, it
like
was.
for a big, this is the area. Even early in my career, this was the requirement. That's the area you have to cover.
Yep.
Last year's playoff series against the Warriors is a great example. You're now asking Anthony Davis to cover all over here. And by the way, we need you to get back and protect the rim. The point in all this is, again, going back to just spacing and 5-out.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're taking, sorry, I'm oscillating between X and O's, offense and defense. If this is X5 right here.
Yep.
He's got an O and an X. But if you're taking, in your case, by the way, because I've looked up the data on this, you're taking a top 5 to 10 rim defender
Yeah.
all the way out of here. You're then relying on no offense, some of the worst rim defenders by percentages in the NBA this season.
For sure.
That is the challenge of a modern defense.
That is.
Because there's enough guys, as I just went through this, the numbers, there's enough guys night to night that are shooting out of high pick and roll.
Yeah, and Dallas have 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Luka comes off the pick and roll, the big's up, and then he swings it to Kyrie. The big got to get all the way over there and do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's what Boston is so good. That's why you're afraid to even have a big up instead of just switching everything. But then they have so many great one-on-one players.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, what do you do? Like with Trae Young, it's like you don't really want Capella to get behind the defense because that's his niche. He blocks shots, and on the other end, he creates havoc by getting a good screen, using his speed to either really sometimes don't even screen because he knows the big is going to be up. So I'm gonna slip behind the defense.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that is the difficult challenge for coaches.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching Mind the Game podcast. If you like it, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.